Hey friends, it's me Samantha and I'm here today because I'm going to be sharing with you how I built my breastfeeding stash for my son. Pretty much I know that this is going to vary woman to woman because everybody's bodies are different, but this is just the basics of what I used and what I did to help build my milk supply, maintain it, and what I'm doing right now, what I plan to keep on doing for when I return to work. So the first thing that I want to talk about that I actually absolutely love, like I feel like every breastfeeding mom needs to have this. It is the Haakaa. I did not know about this until my third baby, and I am so sad that I didn't know about it sooner. So I'm telling you right now, if you have a registry, put this on your registry like right now. So pause this video and go put this on your registry. I'll leave the link down below. This thing right here is so inexpensive. I think it's about like $15 or somewhere around there. I could be totally wrong, but I know it's not like so much. And it's one of the best things that I think they ever made for a breastfeeding mother. So pretty much this is what it looks like. Okay, so mine goes up to about, let's see, 4 ounces, maybe a little bit more if you let it go all the way up to here. And what you do is you pretty much place this on the breast that you're not feeding your baby with, and then whatever letdown you're gonna have, it's gonna catch it into here. Or like, let's say you're a mom that leaks all the time, right? And instead of, you feeding your baby and your milk going to a nursing pad or to your shirt, it could be going into here. And I was able to collect 1 to 2 ounces per feeding. And I was able to also store in my freezer about 40.5 ounces as of today, okay? So I am like so blessed that you have no idea. I know it's not like a lot compared to some ladies, but I am small chested, so I can't store a lot of milk. I mean, I can make milk just like any other lady who has big boobies, but I can't store as much milk. Like I'll get really engorged super fast and it'll just hurt, and I could only probably pump about 4 ounces the most. I mean, that's what I've been able to pump the most with my last baby. So who knows what's the max. I haven't used a pump, like an actual pump yet. I'm planning on using that when I go back to work, but I know for sure I'm not able to like pump like 8 ounces or something like that, okay? So let me explain to you how easy this thing is to use. A lot of moms do the mistake in putting this on their boob like this, squeezing, right? And that's it. And then they just leave it there. The correct way to do this is actually to pull this out like this, right? And then you place this in front of your nipple, and then you squeeze, right? And then it's going to create this suction, and then you pull this out like this, and your nipple is actually going to have a better, I don't know, the breast and this together with the better suction is just amazing. And it's going to help you create a better suction. Not only that, but if you're nursing your baby and you just do it like this, your baby's going to be moving around and then smacking it. Next thing you know, it falls on the floor and you're all upset. But if you do it this way, it actually creates a better suction, so that even if your baby was like, sorry, not a perfect example, but even if your baby was to, sit there and try to like knock it over, it's not going to come out. So this is the #1 thing that I suggest you get. Okay, so another thing that I did when I started this whole breastfeeding journey with baby Isaiah, I wanted to make sure that he was going to take a bottle for when I go back to work. A lot of moms don't like to introduce bottles until their baby is like a month old, 6 weeks old, something like that. But I wanted to make sure that I introduced one right away because of my past experience with Isaac. So what happened with Isaac, he never took a bottle. Ever. Never. Okay? This kid never took a bottle in his life. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know what a bottle feels like. So I tried using Tommy Tippy. I tried using the Lansinoh bottles, Medela bottles. I tried the Latch bottles. I tried Dr. Brown's, whatever. I tried it. Okay, guys, sorry about that. So Isaiah wanted to join us for the video and eat. He's like, all this breastfeeding talk, I need some milk now. Okay, guys, so I'm sorry I had to take a break and feed Isaiah because he was not I'm gonna wait. So I had to feed him real quick. So what I was talking about is the second thing that I did was I wanted to make sure I was going to invest in a bottle that was going to work out this time around. Um, with Isaac, he never took a bottle. So I pumped all that milk and it pretty much just went to waste because, well, it didn't go to waste because you could use breast milk for other things like eye infections, milk baths, skin rashes, you name it. But I just couldn't use it to actually feed my baby, which I was pretty upset about. So I wanted to introduce a bottle right away. I know some moms like to wait 12 weeks or until the baby's like a month old, sometimes 3 months. But I didn't want to make that mistake. I wanted to make sure that this time around, especially knowing that I'm actually a working mom now, I wasn't working with Isaac, so it wasn't really a big deal. But with this baby, I wanted to make sure he would take a bottle in case I need to like leave him with somebody. So what I did was I took a shower. So you don't want to be around because they smell you, I swear. And then what you want to do is have your husband or daycare provider or whoever introduce a bottle to them when you're not around, right? Right. So I chose the Comotomo bottles. These right here are on the pricier side. Okay, here. Yeah, buddy, here. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So these bottles right here are a little bit on the pricier side. I believe 2 of these cost like $24, but I'll leave the link down below. But I knew I wanted to go with a bottle that was going to be fit, you know, for Isaiah. I did a lot of research. I used Tommy Tippy, Dr. Brown's, The Latch, Lansinoh, Medela. I tried so many different brands with Isaac and it just didn't work out. So I found these. I like that they're silicone so they feel like mommy's boobie. I like that they're a wide neck bottle so baby still has to open wide and feel like they're, you know, breastfeeding. I like that they're slow flow. The nipple's not really huge. You know, just a lot of things that I liked about it. So another thing that goes with introducing a bottle to your baby is you want to make sure that you're pace feeding, okay? A lot of daycare providers or dads or whoever's watching your baby might feel like, oh, it's just so easy. Warm up the milk, put the milk in the bottle, feed it to the baby, and call it a day. But no, breastfeeding babies have to drink their bottle a little differently. Some moms might not agree with this, but I feel like it does help so that way they don't get nipple confusion or anything like that. Because imagine, let's say you give your baby a bottle like this, right? And you're just giving the milk right away to them. They're going to be used to that fast flow. They're not going to want to work hard for your breast milk, you know, coming straight from the source because they're going to know, well, if I have a bottle, I'm just going to have to lay there and it's going to come out super fast. I'm going to get full and that's it. So what you want to do is have your baby upright like this. And I'm just going to show you a little demonstration real quick since Isaiah is here. And let's say when you're breastfeeding, right? Sometimes you want to make sure your baby has a wide mouth, right? So you kind of like tickle their lips with your nipple. And then finally when he opens up really wide, that's when you go ahead and, you know, latch them on, right? So that's kind of what you want to do when you're feeding your baby. Sorry, buddy. You want to kind of like go like this and kind of just pretend like it's your nipple so that way he can kind of like, he or she can, you know, start opening their mouth just so they can feel like they're still breastfeeding, you know. You don't want them to forget about that. And then finally, after a little while, you go ahead and you place the bottle in their mouth, and you want to make sure that their mouth is really wide because when they're breastfeeding, their mouth has to be opened pretty wide for it to be like a perfect latch. So you want to do the same. So with the smaller bottle that has a smaller nipple, it's going to be hard because, you know, obviously it's a smaller nipple, so they're not going to be used to that. And who knows, maybe they won't want to open wide enough for you next time you try to breastfeed because you got used to the bottle being so small. but who knows? Best worst case scenario, okay? So yeah, you want to do that, and then what you want to do is you want to start putting a little bit of milk on the nipple, right? And then slowly feed it to them like this. You don't want to go like this, because that way the baby's just drinking, and they're not actually working for the milk. So you kind of want to just put a little bit on the nipple, feed it to them, and then take it out after a little bit, put a little bit more, feed it to them, so they can kind of feel like they're still breastfeeding, okay? So that's what we did, and it worked perfectly fine. He takes a bottle fine. He's probably only taken like 3 bottles since he's been born, but he takes it. So that way I know that when I go back to work, he's going to be fine. Okay, so another thing that I did when I started breastfeeding was to eat oatmeal, okay? Anything with oatmeal, I'm eating it, okay? So oatmeal is supposed to be helping moms with milk supply and just making sure you have enough milk for your baby. So we all know that the number one thing to build a milk supply is feed on demand. The more you feed your baby, the more milk you're going to make. The more you pump, you know, the more milk you're going to make. So usually what some moms do is power pump, which is like pumping more than usual, because it's going to signal your body and say, hey, I need to make more milk. Or some moms breastfeed their baby and then pump. Or some moms feed their babies from one side and pump the other side, so that way the body can think that you're feeding twins and make more milk. So I really enjoy eating the blueberries and cream, strawberries and cream, peaches and cream, anything with the cream, I like it. Some people feel like it has to be like the actual original oats. This is instant oatmeal. I eat these. I enjoy these. I'm not really an oatmeal person, so I wanted to find things that has oatmeal, but that I was going to enjoy. So I really like this brand right here. I also purchased these right here. They're called Tate's Bake Shop, and it's from Southampton, New York. Uniquely crispy, deeply delicious oatmeal raisin cookies. So raisin's going to help me with my fiber, and then oatmeal is going to help with my milk supply. So I really enjoyed these. So that's that. Also, this brand right here that mostly everybody knows about. This is the oatmeal milk chocolate, and actually these taste really good. Like, I didn't even know they were oatmeal. I actually just ate them at a friend's house today, and they were really delicious. And then I just recently found out about these right here. This is called Purely Elizabeth. So it's certified gluten-free, non-GMO, certified vegan, blueberry, lemon, vibrant oats. So it has quinoa, it has flax, and chia. It has 8 grams of protein. And what I did was I put a little bit of almond milk in here, and I left it in the fridge overnight. So they're kind of called overnight oats. And then you put some of this granola on top and you eat it. So I'm going to save this for later. I actually put it in there last night. I'm using almond milk for when I eat like my oatmeal stuff, because I just feel like it tastes better. I like the almond vanilla, and almonds are really good for you too. So that's what I do. But if you want to be extra healthy, don't do vanilla or artificial sweeteners, anything like that. Just get pure almond milk. Okay. Another thing that you have to do is drink water. Drink lots of water. So what I did was I invested in a cute little water bottle. I got it at Dillard's. Dillard's was having like 40% off of your purchase. So I believe I got this for like $7 or $6, something really cheap. And it keeps my water really cold. I enjoy my water cold. So what I do is I put the water in the fridge. In the freezer, and I put it in here, and it stays cold all day, and it makes me want to drink it. If it's like room temperature or warm, it's so hard drinking water. Some moms say that they put a little bit of lemon, something to kind of spice up the taste a little bit, because not a lot of people like water. Let's be honest. I don't like water, but I have to drink it, because in order to make milk, you have to drink water. That's just the way it is. Another thing that I have also used is this Milk Drunk protein powder for breastfeeding moms. And this is the salted caramel. This is the only one that I've tried so far. I do have the mocha one too. It has brewer's yeast, oat flour, flaxseed, You can use it pre-workout, post-workout, anytime. It has vegan protein, fiber. It has also 180 calories, 20 servings in here. It is also gluten-free. And this right here I have used with smoothies. You could use them in like a smoothie bowl. You can make so many different things. Actually, on their Instagram or website, they have recipes that you can follow. Pretty much anywhere where you would use your protein powder, you can add this to that. And I absolutely like protein powders because I am a person who can't not gain weight, and I don't like being so skinny. So having that extra protein, does make me feel better, and hopefully helps me maintain my weight, because I definitely don't want to lose too much weight. Breastfeeding makes you lose weight, and I already have hypothyroidism. I can't gain weight for some reason. So breastfeeding makes me lose a lot of weight, and then people think that I'm trying to be skinny, and I'm really not. I'm trying to be a little chunky, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard. Another thing that I did was going back to the Haakaa. Let's say I pumped 1 ounce, right? 1 ounce. What I do is I put it in a bottle and I put it in the fridge, right? So let's say I go to feed him again and I pumped 2 ounces, right? So I put that in another bottle and I put it in the fridge. So now in the fridge I have 2 bottles, my 1 ounce bottle and I have my 2 ounce bottle. Once both bottles are at the same temperature, I mix them together, and then I create whatever amount of ounces that I want before I put them in my milk storage bag. So I'll show you a close-up of exactly how I do it. Usually I just store them in 3 or 4 ounces. Some people like to store them in 5. Right here where it says date, I put the date. The volume, I put whatever ounces it is. Name, I put Isaiah, because since he is going to be going to daycare, during the week, I want to make sure that they know whose breast milk this is. For time, I put the time that I'm going to be putting it in the freezer. Some moms put the time that they pump the milk. It's totally up to you. And then that is how I do it. Then I stand it up inside of Ziploc bags and I put them in the freezer like that. So I'm going to go get it real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to also show you what it looks like when you mix the bottles together. You definitely don't want to shake your bottles. You want to swirl them around. And I'm just going to show you some cool things, okay? So let me go ahead and get it while Isaiah is happy right now. So you want to make sure that your hands are clean. That's first. You don't want to handle your baby's milk with dirty hands. So this right here, I actually wanted to show you so you can see, because milk actually has fore milk, hind milk. It has a bunch of has a layer of fat. So it's actually pretty interesting. I actually wanted to explain that to you guys. Okay, so I kind of wanted just to show you how cool this is. So you see how our breast milk has different layers. So the bottom is like a watery type consistency. That's what we call the fore milk, which is the milk that your baby will initially get when they first start breastfeeding. And then the middle portion is the hind milk, which is the milk that has a little bit more fatter contents in it. And then the top is just a layer of fat. I think that is awesome. Obviously your baby's going to get a little bit of all of it, because you're going to make sure that you swirl the bottle around enough for everything to incorporate together, and your baby's going to benefit from all of that. But I kind of just wanted to share that with you before I show you how I mix the milks together. Okay, so as you can see right here, I have a bottle that has 3 ounces, which is this one. And then I have another bottle right here that has 1 ounce. And before you incorporate the two together, you want to make sure that you swirl your bottle around. So for instance, I'm going to dump this one in here. So I'm going to swirl this one around to make sure that all the fat of the milk and everything is all incorporated together before I mix this one in there. You don't shake breast milk. You have to swirl it around. Just swirl it around. So as you can see, now it just looks like milk. The hind milk, the fore milk, and everything is all incorporated together. And like I said, this is 1 ounce. So now I'm going to do the same for this bottle. That is like so cool. Let me show you close up. Sorry, I just took out my nails today, so my nails look disgusting. Okay, so like I said, make sure your hands are clean. So now I'm going to open up this. I don't know, I like smelling breast milk for some reason. Okay, so then I add this ounce. I'm going to add this ounce to this bottle. And I usually make sure that I get every little drop. Every drop counts, literally. Okay, so I added my other ounce. So right now I have 4 ounces in that bottle. So I used to store in 3 ounces, but now I'm starting to store 4-ounce bags because I feel like he's going to be eating around that much. And then what I do is I place the milk in one of these bags, and then, like I said, I name them, I do all that, and then I put it in my freezer. So let me go ahead and put this in my fridge for now because I'm going to store it in a little bit, but I wanted to just show you this real quick. So you want to start off with your oldest milk first. So just in case my husband's watching the baby or something, I put the dates here so that way he knows. And for instance, you can start by putting like your oldest up front and then the oldest in the back, so that way he knows, okay, I need to start taking out from here first before I use these, because these are going to go bad first. So I just put them in a Ziploc bag. I feel like it organizes it better. Some people like putting them in containers, or they actually have like the soda boxes. You could cut the top off and use that and just put them like that. And another tip that I have is when you're placing your milk in the fridge, you want to store them, flat like this, so that way they could be nice and thin. Because if you store them upwards, they're not going to be thin and it's just not going to be good. So you definitely want to do that. So yeah. So another thing that I wanted to mention, because I had this with Isaac, was my milk had an excessive amount of lipase in it. So this is something that you also want to check before you start storing your breast milk. What it is this metallic, soapy, nasty taste to it, and it is fixable. What happens is you have to boil your milk first before you store it in the freezer so that I can take out some of that taste out of it. I honestly feel like I have that again, but Isaiah doesn't seem bothered by it. So what I did was I kind of did like a test with my milk. I left some in the fridge for up to 3 days, and then I also put in the freezer some of my milk, and I waited another like 3 days, I want to say. And what happens is the more you wait, your milk is going to taste a little off. Some babies don't mind it at all. Some do. So the ones that do is the ones that you need to worry about, because you need to boil your milk before you freeze it so that way they don't reject your milk. So with Isaiah, I fed him the milk that I had in the fridge 3 days, and he took it fine. And then I used some milk that I had in the freezer after 3 days, and he took it just fine. So I said, okay, well, if I freeze milk and I keep it in the freezer for 3 days, I know that he will take that milk. And then after a few weeks, I believe where did I go? I think I went to Walmart, and it's been 6 weeks or so that milk has been in there. and he took it just fine. So with that being said, I know that he will take milk that's been in the freezer or fridge for 3 days, and I know that he will take my milk that's been in the freezer for 6 weeks without a problem. So he doesn't mind the taste. Now me, I tasted it after it's been in the freezer, and it is disgusting. I do not like it. It does not taste good. Trust me, it doesn't. So if he likes it, that's him. But to me, it tastes just like I wouldn't even bother. Like, ugh, it's bad. With Isaac, my milk tasted better. It tasted kind of like sweet. And this time around, I know it depends on what you eat, but this time it was just like, ugh, you don't even want to try it. But he doesn't seem to worry about it. He doesn't care. So I am good this time around. But with Isaac, God, it was nasty. It was not good. So I think that is it for this video. I know it's like all over the place, but I hope that you can use some of the stuff that I talked about today, and hopefully it will help you out. You know, just stay focused, have a good support team around you. I cannot stress this enough. With Isabella, I had no support whatsoever. I quit very early on. I didn't get to breastfeed her as much as I wanted to. I had nipple confusion going on. I had so much stuff that was just bad. And honestly, I wish I had somebody there telling me that it's going to be okay. You're going to do great. And, you know, if you need help, I'm here for you. And when I did end up meeting somebody that could have been my support system, it was already too late. I know that relactating could have been possible, but it was just like, I was done. So you definitely want a good support system around you. You want people that are going to encourage you. You do not want people that are going to be like, oh, you're going to breastfeed for how long? Why don't you just do formula? You know, like breastfeeding is great. Formula feeding is great too. But if you know that you really want to breastfeed, you want to surround yourself with people that are going to support you, okay? You definitely don't want to hear negative comments or telling you that it's just easier to do this or do that. Like, no, you do not need that, because that is going to just feed you negativity, and then you're going to fall for it. And then later down the road, you're going to be like me, where you regretted it. So don't listen to that. If you guys need any help, anything like that, want to see more videos, let me know. I will be more than happy to make them for you. And like I said, I'll see you in my next video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.